I think we're live. YouTube, are we live? Chat, are we live? Yep, we're live. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right, we are live on this beautiful October 2nd, 2025. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself, and we are joined by Mr. Real Texan Politics and Mr. Luke.
Hello.
What are you talking about? My name's Recep Tayyip Erdogan, dude.
Oh, God.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Yeah, we don't have Luke here.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot to talk about today. We got to talk about the government shutdown. We got to talk about New Jersey, Virginia. Lots happening in the world. And before we get into today's stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. And of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the content. And if you do have any questions, concerns, or want to support the channel, the best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. And hold on, I gotta say we're live on Twitter. Live now. There we go.
Oh, you're doing the Twitter lives too?
No. I'm just posting we're live, like on Twitter. We're just like we're live.
Oh no, you know there's a way. If you have premium, which I think you have, you can stream to both YouTube and Twitter. I've been doing that.
Yeah, too much work. So, all right, everybody.
Oh, big news! We have a new Atlas Intel poll out from New Jersey. Cheryl +8.
Are you serious?
I'm kidding. I just want to spook you guys.
All right, so a couple super chats to read. American Nerd for 2. Day 2 of the shutdown. Day 2. Yep, we're on day 2 of the shutdown. We got to talk about that. Kid Cub for 5. Praise report, gentlemen. God is good. My boss at work informed me today that after a full year of treatments, his wife is now cancer-free. Glory be. Oh, nice. Good. Beat cancer. That's a good thing. So, W's the chat. W's the chat for K Cub's boss's wife. So,
W.
All right. So we have to talk about, what should we start with actually today? Let's talk
Well,
about.
let's see. We didn't stream yesterday, and that was, we're in the beginning of scandal month.
Yep.
Yeah. And we already got hit with 2 scandals.
I think both
regarding candidates in Virginia. Yeah, Virginia. So both the Democrat candidates for Attorney General and the Republican candidates for Lieutenant Governor have major scandals now.
Yeah. Nari for 2. Timo Obama is still crying about the meme video. Yeah, I saw that. That's hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the racist Trump has the meme, and then it's like,
and yes, we are in shutdown mode. The government is shut down.
Yep.
The way I see it is, I think Schumer will probably keep his spine for at least a week,
and then he'll fold.
And just yeah.
All right, so where's the tweet at? Okay, here we go. So, let's talk about the Jay Jones one, because I think that's like kind of more important, because no one gives a shit about the lieutenant governor race. And oh my God, is that John?
Hello.
It's John.
John,
hey.
you're live. Hello.
Yes.
It's been a while.
I am alive, and then I immediately am receiving a call, so I'll be right back.
Oh,
great.
Great. Oh yeah, we also do have the Israel and Hamas peace deal, which we'll have to get into that as well, because
that's like, I don't know what Hamas is doing. Just accept the deal.
The way there's going to be some severe consequences if they don't, but we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah,
we'll get into that later.
Bunch of dumbasses. Okay, American Nerd for 2. What happened with the lieutenant governor candidate in Virginia? Well,
we'll get into Attorney General first.
Yeah, because that's more important. No one gives to a lieutenant governor.
Yeah, although
to be fair, no one that hasn't officially been confirmed, I will point out.
Yeah, the lieutenant governor one we don't really know for sure. That's just speculation. We'll see. Probably is real, but yeah. Jay Jones.
What the fuck is this poll from Australia, dude? More women oppose immigration than men. What the fuck is this?
Well, I mean, who's committing the stuff against the women?
I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I think men would be opposed to it too. But it seems like just women are opposed to it.
Okay, let's get into the scandal in Virginia. So Jay Jones
got convicted of reckless driving, got sentenced to community service, and the community service was done for his own PAC, basically.
That's legal system, everybody. So for those that didn't hear, his own organization for his political career, he had to work for like half the community service.
Mm-hmm. I think he was caught speeding like 120 something miles an
116.
hour. 160 miles an hour.
Yeah, I gotta pull up the tweet because I think Christian Heinz posted this. Yeah,
Now
right
I don't know
here.
if that was on a freeway or if it was in like something else. I don't know.
Yeah, right here. Documents from Jones' attorney shows that Jones completed 1,000 hours of community service in 2023, 500 of which were for Jones' own political organization. What the hell? How is this even legal? How? When you say community service, you think, I don't know, cleaning up garbage?
Usually, I mean, the most common form of community service is like litter pickup.
Yeah. And he had to work his own pack. It's a political group. And apparently the other 500 hours was for the NWACP Virginia State Conference. So what did he even do?
I don't even know. Like, what does the NAACP even do anymore?
I don't know. According to this article,
I think most of the time they just sue things.
Yeah. In this article, Jones helped sue Governor Glenn Youngkin's administration on behalf of the Virginia NWACP for access to the voting rights. So he got community service working as a lawyer for these groups. And yeah, he went 100.
Yeah, by the way, when he's an attorney general candidate getting convicted of reckless driving, I mean, yeah. I think George W. Bush had a similar scandal when he was in like the final week of the 2000.
That was like 30 years prior. You know, that was when he was like in his 20s or whatever. This happened 2 years ago.
I just want to mention, I looked it up just now. It is a class 1 misdemeanor in Virginia, but in many parts of the country, what he did is a felony.
Yeah.
And he would be disqualified from office in many places because he would be a felon. And something else to keep in mind.
And he got community service of 1,000 hours, and all of it for his political causes. The groups he already supported. So, what's the punishment here? I'm confused. Does anybody know? Like, what was the punishment here? He just works for free?
Basically.
It's his own group. Who cares? I don't know. This is Virginia, everybody. Do not support Jay Jones.
That judge was. I imagine that judge was somewhere north in Virginia. I'm not even sure.
Either Richmond or Nova.
I'll also look into it more, but probably. That's my guess.
American Nerd for 2. Hope and pray that Myers wins re-election. We'll get to that. I think he's a good position. I don't think he's a favorite.
He might, honestly. At this point, though, I think he has a better chance now than the lieutenant governor candidate. Who I think was the most likely to win until yesterday.
Yeah.
And
what's
now
his name again?
John Reed.
Reed.
So I will say, first off, John Reed is openly gay. That was known for a while. Yeah. Now, this is not the Fairfax County executive that also ran, who honestly should have been the nominee, probably from the.
Which, by the way, I would like to point out, a couple months back, Winsome Sears and Glenn Youngkin were fighting with John Reed, mostly Winsome Sears, and was trying to get him off the ticket. And all these people were talking about how Sears is horrible. Why is she fighting with people on her ticket? They knew about the scandal, Youngkin and Sears. They were trying to get him off the ticket. But they all thought that it was Sears because she was a rhino or whatever, and she was trying to get a legitimate conservative off. That's what people thought. That's what a lot of people.
Yeah, and she was vindicated because John Reed was caught doing stuff.
I gotta find the tweet. Where is it at?
He was caught Mark Robinson-ing.
Yeah, Mark Robinson style. K-Cup for 2. Bro did 116 miles per hour and got off easier than Trump. Yeah, which would be again, it's a felony in most states. I'm surprised not in Virginia. That's actually weird, but I don't know.
Well, so the thing that like escalates it to being a felony in a place like Virginia is something called like aggravating circumstances. But the thing is that a lot of states prosecute it as if you are aggravating circumstances, because it's like, listen, anybody gets like anywhere close to you, you've killed a family of 4 people if you are doing that in the wrong place. So they just go ahead and they prosecute it as a felony. But yeah, no, like I guess if he was like running 116 miles per hour in a totally empty road, with nobody, and he did not like engage in a police chase. He didn't make police chase him down the road. Then maybe that was why it could be just classified as a misdemeanor, but no.
Which I guess in that case would be a little more understandable.
Yeah.
But
so the what happened is there was a blog that had some very interesting content on it.
It was on Tumblr, I believe,
Oh,
which
God.
checks out. Yeah, it was like Zani porn. I gotta say
it was a fetish of like Nazism and sexual.
Yeah,
oh my
Nazi
God.
porn. Fuck, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I don't care.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Why do we just pick these weird candidates like this? Why?
Let me read into the scandal more because I think fetishes, Nazism, and sexual violence.
I should laugh at that, but my God. Virginia's answer to Mark Robinson. Basically,
J.R. Doe.
This might be even worse, actually.
So in October 2015, J.R. Doe shared an image of a male college student in underwear from the user Obedient.
Okay, let's just stop. Let's stop talking about this. What the hell?
Subservient N-word vet who knows his place in society. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, this is why they try to get John Reed off the ticket. Now I know why.
Yeah, and they were completely justified in doing so. And yeah, it should have been that Fairfax County guy, who, by the way, was the only Republican elected official in Fairfax County. You could have had him.
I don't know why they didn't pick him.
I don't know. I don't know. And they should have. And now,
convention goers just thought, "Oh, this guy looks moderate." He was more MAGA, I think.
Did they think that because he was gay that would help them?
No, they thought it was because he was more MAGA than the Virginia. That's the problem. I feel like so many people just vote for the MAGA option and don't take into account anything else, which, don't get me wrong, I like the MAGA shit, but like Virginia, like, come on. I think if it was left up to a primary,
they see Northern Virginia and they immediately think Rhino.
Oh my God! There's another person running in for Florida 19th.
Yeah, we'll get to that later on.
God.
But you also got to. But I will say about Florida 19, something you have to remember: this is Southwest Florida. This is the fastest growing area. This is the fastest growing region of the entire state. It is it is almost everybody that lives there is a transplant.
Yeah.
I think of the dozen of the several candidates running, I think only one or two of them are locals. Everybody else is a carpetbagger.
My God.
So yeah, see next, I almost certainly the next congressman or woman from Florida 19 will be a carpetbagger from another state.
They're really not exaggerating. They're all carpetbaggers. Like, look at this list here. I gotta pull it up.
I think the only one I saw that's a local was like a radio station owner who probably has no chance at winning.
The newest candidate is Catalina Loff. Are you serious?
There's Catalina Loff. There's yeah, I guess we'll be getting into this now.
She's running Florida 19th.
Yeah, Madison Cawthorn, who was former congressman from North Carolina.
Wasn't she from Chicago?
Yeah, she was from Chicago.
Yeah, she was in a primary Adam Kinzinger before he dropped out, and then Illinois redrew the map into the gerrymander, and then
what a shit show. So you got Madison Cawthorn, Chris Collins, Catalina Loff, and
Chris Collins is from New York, who I think is insanely corrupt from what I've heard.
Yeah, he is.
I think given the scandal from Cawthorn, if I had to guess, Trump will probably endorse Loff.
Catalina Loff sounds familiar. Oh, listen, she how do I explain this? What she ran on?
Well, what I remember is this was from 2022. I think before the map got finalized, the gerrymander. It was Kinzinger who hadn't announced he was retiring yet. Catalina Loff and I think it was John or Jack Lombardi.
Yeah.
Who I supported. I supported Lombardi.
Yeah, Lombardi was the best, I think. I think he kind of lost
then,
it, but he was good back.
Then I think they drew the gerrymander. They drew Kinzinger out, which I have theories about, by the way. And then It was
for
that.
those that don't know, Catalina Loft, she literally ran on her looks. I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah,
So,
I think she was like a beauty pageant something.
it was
That was
basically
I think she was going to be the Trump endorsed candidate. By the way, Lombardi I think was like an online. Lombardi I think was running like an online campaign.
Lombardi
It was going
was
to
a
be
good
Catalina
guy,
Lauf.
but yeah.
It was going to be Catalina Lauf. But my theory though is that I think my guess is that the party offered Kinzinger. They basically gave Kinzinger an ultimatum: you switch parties, or we draw you out. And he refused because he wanted to be the token liberal Republican, which he probably regrets now because I think if he was still in Congress now, I think he would switch parties to Democratic.
Oh,
But
he would.
um,
American Nerd for
but I
2.
think, but then yeah, they drew him out and he moved to Houston.
American Nerd for 2. Heard the Fairfax guy had some health issues. Oh, he did. I don't know.
That could have been the case.
But
Maybe
anyways, but yeah, so
Yeah.
this race, I just want to bring this up because, like, this is like every meme candidate possible. You have, like, insanely corrupt dumbass from New York. You have Madison Cawthorn, who, he had a good voting record, but everybody knows what happened.
Yeah, he had the scandal where he had he did not have sexual relations with his cousin.
Yeah.
And then you have
And
Catalina
we have a
Lauf, who's
video of it. Like,
and then you have
thankfully,
Catalina Lauf,
it's
who's
bad.
the beauty pageant queen, and who will probably get the Trump endorsement, in my opinion. So my guess it'll probably be Lauf. It's basically a freeway race between
This
out of
sucks.
staters.
And well, you also forgot Jim Oberweis, whatever the frick his name is. He's a former Illinois state senator. What is going on here? Why are there just random people running here? Like, yeah, we got a guy from North Carolina, New York, Illinois. 2 people from Illinois, actually. There's like 1 person in the race that actually lived there.
Yeah, and I think that's the radio station owner.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Madison Cawthorn, Chris Collins, Catalina Lauf, Jim Oberweis.
Wait, did you say Jim Oberweis is running in that seat?
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, that's a perennial.
That dude ran for like every office possible in Illinois. He ran for Senate once. He ran for He ran for like Congress a few times. He was like the perennial candidate against Lauren Underwood for a while.
Yeah.
He decided to move to the free state of Florida. I think that's the case with all of these. They decided to move to the free state of Florida. By the way, so October. Now we're in October. We're in Q4. So Q3 has already ended. Every single one of these major candidates that has entered, except for Oberweis, they don't have fundraising data right now because they entered in too late. So technically, right now, the fundraising frontrunner is Oberweis.
Yeah,
he's raised $2.1 million.
How the hell did he raise that much money? What?
A lot of it might just be Illinois donors, to be honest.
My gosh.
There's also Jim Schwartzel, who is, I believe, the only local candidate. He's a radio station owner. He's raised $1.2 million. He owns the WFSX FM 92.5 FM station in Naples. No, Estero. Estero. It's a talk. I think it's a conservative talk radio.
I would assume so. Okay.
Yeah,
Avery for 5. Breaking news: President Trump has entered the District 19th race. You know, he should join. Why not? I mean.
Oh, I see. So this station that he owns, they air Sean Hannity, they air Glenn Beck, they air Clay Travis, Buck Sexton, Mark Levin, Michael Berry, pretty much every conservative radio host that there is.
It's literally just BoomerCon the network, basically.
It's just talk radio. It's conservative talk radio, which again, it's pretty much only boomers listen to it.
All right. So hold on, we gotta pull this up. Where we at? Okay. So when it comes to Florida 19th, enough of that. Like, it's a shit show. But okay, it's time we get into the real part of the stream I want to get to. We talked about the Virginia stuff. I made a video on that yesterday. We gotta talk about the shutdown.
Yes, so we're in day 2.
Yay.
I think this will last at least a week. It could honestly go for at least a month. I think it's a possibility.
Yeah. I got this tweet pulled up here. So John, like, since it's been a while, so what's your thoughts on everything that's been going on the last month? I don't think you were here for the Kirk shooting, were you?
No, like, I started my new job like 2 days before the Kirk shooting, and I didn't say anything about it. I've been about as radicalized as anybody else on the issues with that. It's just comes down to, a lot of people talking about that we're kind of at war, and I think that's the attitude people need going forward. And it's not like a war between like competing ideologies. It's like the people that want to destroy the country and the people that want there to be a country, and the people that want there to be a country have a very diverse set of views. It's not all like one image of what America's supposed to be, but there's a fine line between those two, and you have to make sure you are not batting for the wrong team. But with that, the whole thing with the government shutdown, I think this is just like massive miscalculation by the Democrats.
I agree.
If Trump and his administration do not, take advantage of the situation, obviously posturing and everybody wants to be clear. We did not want the shutdown. We did not want XYZ. That's like the official narrative. But in reality, this should just be seen as like once in a lifetime opportunity, reduce the government workforce. There's, you obviously have other problems that come from putting so many people out on the street and needing jobs, but everybody just needs to get it through their heads that government jobs do not produce more for us and for the economy and for everybody else. It's not like I'm a GDP worshiper, but these are just genuinely inefficient jobs. A lot of these people, a lot of these workers that we could release are actually making construction cost more. They're making building cost more. They're making your homes cost more. They're making some medicine cost. Like they are increasing costs across the board for everything that you have because they're making useless regulations that nobody cares about. And also, they're supporting big businesses as opposed to small businesses by making all these burdensome regulations that, basically you have to hire attorneys to be able to sift through. So I really hope we have a dramatic reduction in federal workforce. I hope a lot of these useless idiots find a more productive place to be in the American economy. My only disappointment is going to be is if we don't get mass firings underway as soon as possible. As for the political side of it, Democrats have just screwed up.
Yeah,
They're trying to placate to their base. Schumer's trying to keep his job. JD was completely right when he said like Schumer is just terrified of being primary challenged and overthrown in his seat. I think it's going to backfire. I think Schumer could lose his job after this anyways. And it's just a terrible thing. Like it's a lose-lose situation for Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, and like they're fighting over illegal like immigration healthcare, which is just insane. Like it's another 80-20 issue. I don't get what they're trying to fight over for. Like, are they let just that out of touch? Like they really think, oh yeah, if we go for another 80-20 issue, that's gonna help our popularity this time. Surely.
They're hoping that they're trying to rub the genie bottle and hoping that, the magic dust will pop out where everybody believes every single thing that they say. I've seen people on social media talk about like, the people obsessed with the Democrat Party. No, you don't understand. There's nothing going to illegals. There's nothing ever going to illegals ever. But just people don't buy it anymore. People don't buy it anymore, and they lost an election to it. And the fact that they still have not processed they lost the 2024 election.
Yeah.
And if they never do, they're going to lose more elections. That's just the bottom line of it. Now, this year, they could win all of their elections, but going into midterms next year, general election, they're going to continue losing in those more major elections.
Okay, Ben Sinex has been a member for 11 months. Just got here. Y'all see the Emerson, Virginia poll? No, I haven't. American Nerd for 2. Thoughts on what Schumer...
It's Bamberger plus 10.
Yeah, that's what I thought. American Nerd for 2. Thoughts on what Schumer said with the New York Times poll? Yeah, now they're saying the polls are fake. I saw that. President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. John Rose, suspect who took over the live feed of pain for rap in his time of need. W's for John. Hope you're going well. Yeah. He's doing well, it sounds like.
Where do I get? Why don't I get any credit for that?
You get credit. You get credit too.
I appreciate it, Gilbert. Thank you so much for your comment.
All right. So yeah, I do think overall with the government shutdown, I think Republicans are doing this brilliantly. They are handling this perfectly. The way they've handled this is like, listen, you can criticize the GOP for a lot of things, but at least their messaging is actually good here. they're like saying, hey, we'll take a pay cut while the government's shut down. We'll donate our salaries. And then, hey, all these government workers, you're out of here. And apparently President Trump is meeting with Russell Vought in a meeting at the White House today. He said in a tweet earlier today that I have a meeting with Russ Vought, and this is the funny part, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends be cut. And whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave this unprecedented opportunity. They're not stupid people. So maybe this is the way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again, President Donald John Trump. So he's talked with Russell Vought. For those that don't know, he's in charge of the is it the OMB, right?
So.
Yeah, it's OMB, in which that's like the budget stuff. And he's a great guy. He's like one of the top people in the admin. And apparently they're going through the cuts, which I always wonder, like, wait, it's a shutdown. Why wouldn't the executive branch just cut shit? Like, who's going to stop them? Seriously, who's going to stop Trump?
I mean, they have lists. Like, again, when you read Project 2025, they already talked about everything that they would want to cut. So it's not like we don't have a blueprint for what to do. It feels like we were just handed over on a silver platter the executive's chance to do this. And I know that firing tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people is not something that happens in a single night, but I think that they should, be working, 24 around the clock until they have it set up, because this is our chance. Like, we're not going to have many other chances to permanently reduce the workforce.
And I mean, like, it's already like 1.5 million people got furloughed already, which was kind of expected. But it sounds like a lot of them are fired. They're like gone. So
I did read it's probably only a few 100,000, like 400 to 700,000, not 1.5 million. But I saw that headline and I immediately went and checked it because I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's total. It's like include everything, but it's like closer to 700,000. But
yeah.
K-Cup for 2. No, John, they lost, but it was super close. Yeah, that's a copium. It was such a close election that you got killed in every swing state. Yeah,
it was less close than 2016 and 2020. It was pretty bad.
American Earth for 2. Why do we need the Democrats when we have both chambers? What? Oh, okay.
Filibuster.
Because we need 60 votes in the Senate to keep the
nuke the filibuster. I'm getting sick of this shit.
Which again, I actually made a good point the other day. I was actually thinking, would people be interested in potentially maybe making it for government shutdowns? You only need 51, kind of like with budget reconciliation. I think that's a conversation we could definitely have.
I think it's one of those situations where this like screws Dems over, so keep it. Just keep it.
No, and here's the thing: like everyone's like, "Oh, the Dems are gonna use it when it's like they're gonna get rid of the filibuster anyway when they get back in power." You know,
yeah, they don't got Manchin.
And even then, they're probably not even gonna win the Senate anytime soon, so it doesn't even matter. Like, they're gonna do it when they get in power. Why don't we just do it?
I would say nuke the filibuster for some stuff. Make it explicitly like some stuff, not everything. Just everything we want. All right. The only elections in the 21st century that were bigger wins than Trump 2024 were Obama's wins. And even then, I mean, Obama's second win wasn't as big as people think it was. Like, yeah, he won most swing states, I get that, but you go look at the margins, it was basically what Trump got in most states. So, it's pretty close.
We got some breaking news out of Culpeper, Virginia.
Wait, what happened?
Charlie Kirk Memorial got vandalized. They ripped it up. They spray painted it "Free Palestine" and "Burn in Hell."
I want to describe for people listening exactly what happened to this poster. It said, "Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, 1993 to 2025, Romans 14:8." So it had a Bible verse, and it said, "His legacy is not finished." They ripped off the Bible verse, and "His legacy is not finished." They scribbled out, and under his name put "Free Palestine," blacked out his face with paint, and then put "Burn in Hell" over him.
Very sane people, everybody. Very sane individuals. What the hell? So, this is the tolerant left, everybody. These people are tolerant. Now, will the NDL include this in their shitty heat map thing? Will they? Oh, this is an extremist attack. They won't. Like, seriously, what are we doing here? Like, no sane individual should support this. Is there any reason to do anything like this? I don't get, like, the philosophy, like, are they just that delusional that they really think, oh yeah, he's like Hitler, he's like Hitler light or whatever? I mean, I think they think that way, but I don't know at this point. It's just...
Yeah, they've been calling
I just want you to imagine, like, what would the news cables, like, channels be saying if, like, after Martin Luther King was assassinated, like, we went through the streets and we just put, like, man, Martin Luther, burn in hell. Probably happened, but, like, think about what the reaction would be by the general public in that. We would all have a mass condemning of it because everybody would intuitively understand, oh, you say Martin Luther King, burn in hell, and you're trying to tear down any memory of him. Oh, I guess that means that you condone his political murder. You condone him being killed. Well, that's what's happening here with Charlie Kirk. Like
Yeah.
they're accepting, embracing his political murder, and anybody like him that espouses anything that he says and tries to have fair debate, you should be dead too.
And
Like
this
that is how you need to interpret this.
This is what pisses me off about the Trump admin. Their response has been shit. I'm sorry, it's been awful. Like, yes, they made Antifa a terrorist organization. Have they arrested a single person yet? Have they? It's been nearly a month. And like, listen, I understand some of the RICO stuff takes a while, but you're telling me that it's been over a month, or close to a month, and not a single person that's gone on Twitter and stuff and say, yeah, we gotta kill more MAGA Republicans. Not a single person was arrested. But the FBI had the time to arrest the one MAGA Republican that's schizophrenic. That said some horrible shit. Which, again, arrest them all. But it's like, why? Why is the FBI and DOJ just shit? I don't know. I'm just getting frustrated. I don't know. John, you're the level-headed one. Like, am I, like, am I overreacting? Or what?
I don't want to say you're overreacting. We all should demand action. We should all demand movement. And people might hate for me for repeating this line that I've said before, but it's just a constant, ever-present reminder. No matter who you have at the top of DOJ or FBI, these are captive institutions. And when I say that they are captive institutions, the long-standing members, like probably the vast majority of the people that work there, are beholden to the interests of an oligarchical conglomerate that we tried to overthrow with an election. They would like to overwrite the results of the election. They would like Trump to be a speed bump in the history of their progressive revolution. And it's not all radical ideologues. It's not all people that are just like crazy in the head for woke stuff. It's just people that get their paycheck and get their security, get their friendships and everything else from these groups, from the people that actually run Washington, D.C., that despise Trump, wish that he had actually died last year, and everything else. And so, having frustration with the captive institutions is good, but in voicing out how much you despise, like, there being little action is also an incredibly productive thing. So I'm not going to counter signal any of that, but not if you're having trouble understanding, I think you just have to go back to that concept. These are captive institutions, and it is a shame that changing the leadership does not immediately fix that.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, obviously some of the stuff takes time, but, and I know in Portland they have arrested some of these lunatics, I get that, but it's like, yeah, you arrest the ones, like, physically attacking people, like, the physically attacking ICE officers, I get that, that's good, but there's a bunch of people getting their shit kicked out of them in Portland right now, and nobody said a thing about them.
Well, and the other thing that I've noticed, the only other excuse that I would provide is that I think there is a genuine lack of resource and infrastructure. I think that's being developed right now. I saw a message. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was put out. Somebody texted one of our big influential mutuals, and they were saying, like, with ICE and with the federal law enforcement, they're basically working like 7 days a week, 12-hour, 13, 14-hour shifts, trying to train people up, both to do immigration enforcement and to do law enforcement. And you just the entire like structure was crippled and weakened, and the point of it during the Biden admin was we want to make this so weak and ineffective that they can never do their job ever again. So if you think about um, federal law enforcement as kind of like a sick patient that like was trying, someone was actively like poisoning in bed, trying to kill it. Where it's recovering, but the recovery is slower than any of us want. So that's something that I guess that's a way I would illustrate the situation. Like imagine like we got a guy being starved and poisoned on a bed, and we're bringing him back, we're resuscitating him, but it's been half a year, he's still not a normal person.
I understand that logic. It takes a while for some of this stuff. I get that. But it's like the DOJ and FBI, they have time to arrest like one person 5 minutes after makes a tweet, on an anonymous account saying horrible shit, which that's good. But it's like, it was a right-winger that did it. And it's like, it seems like they're still like not dealing with leftists. They're only going after right-wingers right now. It's like, oh, the one schizophrenic MAGA Republican has 2 followers. We can arrest him in 2 minutes. But the one that, the person with 20,000 followers that says kill Republicans, we can't do anything about them. That just
Yeah, I think we have a small cluster of people in the DOJ actively trying to defend the rights of the majority of Americans, and then we have a large portion of the DOJ staff still there for nefarious reasons, still there to basically lock up law-abiding citizens, there to punish the right as much as possible. Again, I know I'm not offering any solutions, but I'm trying to illustrate the problem as clearly as possible. It's really bad. We have to.
General. That's real.
We have to destroy the center of these captive institutions, whatever way we are able to do that.
Maria for 5. I'm Jewish, but since I'm a conservative, I'm called Nazi daily. Make it make sense. Well, yeah, these people are just stupid. American Nerd for 6. Pam Body's completely useless when it comes to actually doing her job as AG. I bet a brainless chicken could do better than her. At this point, a piece of cardboard could be more effective at this point. I mean, at least a piece of cardboard keeps his mouth shut. It's like...
Well, something that really stood out to me in like the middle of last month that I didn't get to talk about with you guys was that deleted Trump Truth Social where it looked like he was like sending a message to Pam Bondi like, listen, we're losing face, this is really bad, I'm getting calls that says this is all ineffective. And to me, what that really says is that the administration in some sense understands the incompetency of Pam Bondi. And I really hope that whatever is holding them back from replacing her, I hope those barriers are taken down, because that would probably be there's a couple people that could do that job tremendously well. It's probably time
just pick Bailey.
Whenever they can. Yeah,
pick Andrew
Bailey or someone else.
He's right there in the FBI. Just pick him. I don't get what's this game's about. Oh, we can't get rid of Bondi. Yes, you can. Pam Bondi, you could get rid of right now. And it would be very easy to replace her with, like, Andrew Bailey. And then, this is what they should have done months ago, put Matt Gaetz and Ken Paxton in a task force in the DOJ to go after these organizations. Why is it that we have to come up with these ideas? Why can't the DOJ just do this? They say they're going to take a stand against George Soros. They've done nothing. They've done jack shit. I'm not trying to doom or whatever, but seriously, have they done a single thing since Kirk got shot? Anything of note? And instead of just rhetoric, just have they taken real action on anything? Can anyone think of anything?
Well, they have mobilized federal law enforcement, and just to protect ICE. So they're gearing up that machine. I think they authorized them to use. I don't know if they use lethal force, but full force or whatever. That was the order given. And then, they did the labeling of Antifa as a terrorist organization, but they have not begun prosecuting them as such. It's a lot of waiting out on stuff, and it will be severely disappointing if nothing is manifest from any of these preliminary things.
I've said this, and I think even Sam Hyde said this, and I agree with him. It's like the Trump admin, I think, really had 2 weeks to had to shut this crap down. Crack down on this insanity. Actually, not just go after everybody that's unrealistic, but send a message that you're actually doing something. You're actually arresting people. The fact they haven't done that is actually kind of scary. Is James Comey even in handcuffs yet? Is he? He was indicted like a week ago. And I don't think he's been arrested yet.
That's really weird.
So, I could be wrong about that, but I don't think I've seen anything that he's been, like, put in handcuffs or anything. That's the issue.
This is what small government does, by the way.
This is a problem with Pam Bondi. They say they're going to do good stuff, and then, like, even Tyrone brought this up. I got to pull up his tweet, okay?
They like click.
That's the issue, I think, here. They want clicks. They want attention, which, okay, listen, some of the rhetoric is good. Like, you know, they had the Sam Hyde meme, which everybody knows. They posted that yesterday, which is hilarious. But it's like, Tyrone is right. Okay, I got his tweet pulled up. This is the kind of performative bullshit all you dweebs and seals fall for. You'll clap like monkeys when a 30-something millennial intern at DHS makes references to an old Sam Hyde skit. Meanwhile, they have yet to open up RICOs and Soros or legally prosecute Antifa. And he's right. And again, let's be clear, the RICO stuff, that takes a while. We talked with Tyrone about that. But again, they're not prosecuted anybody. And they say good stuff on Twitter, and people say, yeah, they're doing their job. No. They're just posting stuff on Twitter. Which is, it's funny and all, but do something.
Well, here's the tension point. As right-wingers, as people who believe in law and order, we cannot revolt in the anarchical, chaotic, disorganized way that the leftists do. A lot of this organized protesting, yeah, it's being funded by people, but the reason it's possible is because the left can behave that way. When we have problems and we need the system to be cleansed, we have to rely on our elected officials to do what we put them in office to do, or to enact our wills at the very least in regards to fixing this. And I think especially among the older class, there's kind of, a mix of Gen X and millennials in this administration. I think the Gen Xers are far too slow to act on anything. They're far too afraid, and they're not willing to act with the fervor the left has. And again, if they cannot find the fire in their hearts to go after all of these people, we are never going to win against the left. Like, we're never going to win unless they can get their shit together, to get their asses in shape and go and completely demolish these people, treat them like we are at war. Not with like violence, but like going explicitly out as if this is a war zone, taking them down, taking out their money, prosecuting, jailing all of their people. Any of these people facilitating the violence against our law enforcement, against our country, they have to.
And here's a problem, and I forgot who tweeted this. I gotta find the tweet. But it's like, when you don't enforce the law, and we're not even talking about like crazy stuff, you just have to enforce the law, which, by the way, they can. It's not the shit of, oh, the feds can't do anything. No, they can. They've been arresting like a dozen right-wingers for posting shit on Twitter. They can arrest these people. If they really wanted to, they can. But the longer they wait and not charging anybody, you know what's going to happen? And this is what I'm fearful about. It's going to make people on the left think they're immune to everything, and they can triple down the violence. That's my concern. They're going to go even further and say, well, nobody arrested us for anything. They said they were going to, and nothing happened. So we can do even more crazy shit. Am I wrong in thinking that way? Because, like, it's just common sense. Like, if criminals see you're not prosecuting anybody, what do you think they're going to do? I don't know. It's not good. Riley Moore for 5. The mayor of Philly and Governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, in a flag scandal. They are flying the Chinese flag over the Philly City Hall. I heard about that. Yeah, the Chinese flag's like flying over the city capitol right now, which is just crazy.
By the way, speaking of Virginia, and we brought this up earlier with the Charlie Kirk Memorial vandalized, but there was also the University of Virginia had like a Saturday Night Live style show, and they thanked Charlie Kirk's assassin in like the end credits.
What?
I'm being serious, by the way. Like,
pull this up. There's no way. Jacob Martin for 2. This admin has either been too fast or too slow. I actually agree with that, but go on. What?
University of Virginia.
Can you pull this up? I don't believe you.
But
But yeah, Jacob, I agree with you. Like, this admin's either been too fast or too slow to everything.
Okay, maybe it wasn't University of Virginia. Okay, I think I was thinking of the Antifa event. I'll pull that up too. But there was a university I know that thanked Charlie Kirk's killer. It
People were
may have
saying
been
Delaware.
It might have been. Maybe it was Delaware.
People were saying
Okay,
Delaware.
yeah, I'll pull that up too. Here's Virginia.
American Art for 2. We need Pinochet and Franco like Law and Order right now. At this point, I mean, again, you may not agree with everything they did, but they cleaned the cities up. They figure out how to deal with these people. Yeah, I'm not saying do everything they did. You know, some of the stuff they did was pretty fucked up, but, you know.
No, so like the distinction is go as hard as physically possible, but within the realms of law and order.
Yeah, just
be the
brute force.
ultimate law, like, and don't give a shit if they call you authoritarian or call you Nazi or call you fascist, because guess what we just learned? We learned that when they call you those names, all they're trying to do is get you killed. So don't worry about it. Just be be the fucking evil troops from Star Wars with the stormtroopers. Be the fucking stormtroopers. Be the fucking whatever you have to be. But just go out there, hardball it, get these people there, because that's the only language. And Trump said this before. That's the only language they understand. The only language these cowards understand is physical force, brute force. Use brute force. Put them in prison.
Look at Portland.
Prosecute.
Like, listen, again, we're making fun of Portland for not doing anything, but look at the ones they actually went after. They did the bare minimum, and, like, they're losing their shit, like, they're crying and, like, they're shaking and stuff, and they barely did anything to them. Like, all you have to do is just use brute force. If somebody's, like, again, peaceful protests, they're allowed, don't go after them. But these agitators, you know how you set an example? Beat the shit out of them. If they're trying to attack people, they're breaking the law. Do your job and haul away. And you know what's going to happen? Their other agitators are going to be scared shitless. They're not going to do anything.
Like, the mainstream news polemic right now is, oh my gosh, these people coming up to harass ICE at their centers, they're being tear gassed and they're being kicked and they're being all this. Like, that's what they're trying to make the narrative, like, built around mainstream news. There should be so many tear gassings, so many shit kicks, so many people that are put into into chains. Like, they just need to be like, oh well, you know what, I guess, like, crying about it's not going to, like, change the fact I'm going to get arrested and or, like, injured trying to interfere with law enforcement activity. Like, they just, you know how, like, Destiny said right wingers need to be afraid when they go on campus? Left wingers need to be afraid of the fucking police.
They need to be afraid. We also have that what is that, Cat Abu Ghazali lady that's
oh shoot, yeah.
Well,
anyways,
calling her lady's kind of going a little too far, but she's basically doing a lot of this stuff to ICE.
Yeah, they don't
like on purpose to get votes. I mean, by the way, Cat's boyfriend is the owner of the Onion.
That explains a lot. American Nerd for 2. We need Anakin marching in the temple moment. At this point, yeah. At this point, you got to physically just say no. The military is going to these cities. They're going to clean the cities up. Enough is enough. This horseshit where these.
And then we need the Bane style court system, which I've been calling for like, the best part of the year.
Who would be the scarecrow in that scene? Who should be the scarecrow?
Stephen Miller.
Yeah, Stephen Miller.
By the way, since John's here, what's his input on the Israel Hamas peace deal?
That's a good one. Anyways, Henry Hooker stand for 5. I think advanced admin is more willing to use power than this current Trump admin. I agree. I agree with that. K-Cub for 5. Criminals are a cowardly and superstitious lot that the only way to beat them was to give them something to be scared of. Jim Gordon, Arkham Knight. I mean, yeah. If they're scared of, like, committing crimes and stuff, they're not going to do it. That thing working?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, John, did you have any thoughts on that, or?
Any thoughts on what?
The Israel-Hamas peace deal, potentially. That's a shit show.
I am encouraged by the number of third-party voices endorsing the plan. I think one of the things that Hamas looks towards before making deals is like, well, what are our buddies saying? What are like the people that potentially support us in one way or another? Like, what are they saying? And I feel like there's a lot of third-party voices in the Middle East. I have no idea. But I am encouraged by that. The jig is up. and I just don't know. You can never again. If you assume Hamas are rational actors, you're never going to predict what happens next. But at some point, even irrational actors are pushed to a limit, and so we're just kind of waiting to see.
The fact basically
Are they
the
at their
entire
limit?
air
I will
world,
say the deal said it would go forward even if Hamas didn't accept.
Yeah.
Just it would be done slower.
and like the fact the entire air world is saying like yes to this, I think it basically means that if they say no, the air world's just gonna force them out. They're just say fuck you, you're gone.
Yeah.
They're
Well, yeah,
Even the
that's what I'm hoping.
Palestinian Authority support.
Yeah, the fact that
Yeah, the West Bank government.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. They got the moderates on their side in Palestine. They're like saying hell yes to this because they realize this is their best chance of Palestinian statehood ever. So of course they're gonna say yes.
Now, actually,
Well, yeah,
also add now in 5 days is the anniversary of October 7th. If Hamas doesn't agree to the deal by then,
They're gonna bomb the shit.
they're
out of them.
going to be I will honestly, you're probably going to see Gaza annihilated, and maybe another strike on Iran, something like that.
Yeah, this is a concern that I do got. Like Hamas, like even though Qatar is supporting this, even though Saudi Arabia, all these countries saying yes to this, which should tell you everything, by the way. The only side that said no, or they're not saying anything right now, is Hamas, which should again tell you everything about these people. They're not rational.
No, they have been barbaric, and as much as we decry the absolutely terrible things Israel has done in Gaza, which I completely condemn with all my heart. You just have to remember these people do behave like barbarians. They behave like as if they are from a civilization 2,000 years ago. It's pretty bad. And it like again, like you think about the desecrating of the corpses, think about all the other shit they've done. That wasn't all made up by Israel. They just do this because they hate Israel with all their heart, and they blame them for all of the problems that they have. And anyways, but you get the point. I'm hoping that like the sensible Muslims around them, the Palestinian authorities, who are, like you said, it's a golden chance for them. They're in this situation where they're being recognized by multiple major European powers. The United States is offering potential recognition in exchange for just cooperating with this plan. So I'm hoping everybody gets on the same page, and if those Hamas terrorist leaders are the only ones left out of the loop, then I look forward to the peace that comes after the ugly stuff we have to do in between.
This is like a golden opportunity. I don't get why people are saying this is actually, oh, this was an Israeli deal. I don't remember Israel ever wanting to recognize Palestine. And we got breaking news out of Wisconsin. What the hell? No.
Okay, I didn't realize Luke left, but
no. Quick super chat, American Nerd for 2. We need Batman for the Dark Knight Returns. I agree. Breaking.
Tommy Thompson's running for governor of Wisconsin. Yeah.
Come on! You could have done this 2 years ago or 4 years ago, dude. What the hell? Listen, Tommy Thompson, he was strong in the 90s. Are you shitting me right now? He's like 85. Oh my gosh. Come on, we want Tom Tiffany. This is bullshit. Great. Let's go. He's going to win easily. Well, he's like in his 80s, and it's been like, he ran for Senate in 2012, which he would have won if frickin' the dumbasses didn't run back then, but yeah.
Yeah, he's 83 right now.
God. Let him cook. Can he win? I don't think he can. I mean, people know he is, kind of, but he's in his 80s. And like, just run Tiffany. Great.
Anyway, so, John, would you agree that if Hamas doesn't agree to this deal, that Gaza is basically going to be completely annihilated, like flattened, gone?
I believe that these terrorists will be taken out. As far as a flattening of Gaza, like a cleansing of Gaza, not going to like agree. I see that as a possibility. But I see it as just way more likely. I think there's a lot of intel on these guys now at this point, where they're huddling out, where they're holding the captives, everything else. I think that there's just going to be the people currently in charge of Hamas. They're just going to cease to exist one day, and it'll be like kind of a horrifying thing to look at. But then after that, the rebuilding will start. The other Arabs will pour in, and they'll start with this, peacetime, friendly Gaza deal. We'll just have to see. But yeah, no, I'm not fully on board with the place is going to get glassed thing. I see other possibilities. I guess that's the way I'll put it. I see other possibilities.
All right. Couple super chats. Catch up to American Nerd for 2. Is it Thompson a rhino for working under Bush 43? No, that logic's dumb. Just because you work for somebody does not mean you're automatically a rhino. Aaron for 2. Best and brightest. Remember Operation Paperclip? Oh gosh, yeah. For those that know, that everybody knows Operation Paperclip at this point. There's no way nobody doesn't. Everybody knows what that is. And ooh, what's this about the cartel? I just saw you posted, John. What is this about?
I just saw this. It's from Eric Daughtery. President Trump has decided that the USA is now engaged in a formal armed conflict with cartel combatants in the Caribbean Sea. That means more cartel strikes on the way if these narco terrorists decide to FAFO on their way. So, listen, this is the way that I wish Trump would treat leftist protesters and rioters, and people supporting murder. But hey, at least we're doing it towards the cartels, which everybody, universally sees as the bad guys.
On the left.
Except for that one reporter on CNN that just did like a friendly interview with like a cartel leader.
I saw that. It's like, oh yeah, this guy, apparently you have contacts to the cartel, which is always sketchy. Like, wait, why do you have contacts to the cartel? What's that about?
Is your scoop, is your career boost by interviewing a cartel leader more important than you just giving information and letting the government sink this guy? Like whose side are you on? Are you like CNN? Are you like Mexican nationalists now? Are you like in support of killing hundreds of thousands of Americans with drugs? Like, what the fuck is your problem? But yeah, no. Anyways, I hope that we get a lot of military action in the Caribbean. I just want all the narco boats taken down. I want these people to feel as though their job is impossible. The casualty rate is too high. They can no longer port drugs through the water into America, and at least that'll funnel the business to land where we can try and really take it down going across the border. That's what I wish for.
American Nerd for 5. Operation Paperclip did help America, but beat the Russians to the moon thanks to von Braun. But what it cost? I mean, it really didn't change much. It helped us the space race, but I don't think it really did much for society. Just like, oh yeah, we got former Nazis here. Anyways, excuse me. But yeah, I do think with the this is where people are some people I could see why they're kind of against this, because they don't want another freaking Iraq and Venezuela. I get that. You don't want Iraq in South America. I understand that. But it's if these people are just threatening American lives, who gives a shit? This is not like Iraq where nobody's doing anything. So
I want to mention just how dramatically different this is than Iraq. Whether it's Colombia, Venezuela, or any of these important South American countries. Number one, the people in Iraq, they were causing immense amount of suffering and terror. Even under the old regime, I'm talking about both the old regime and ISIS, but they were doing horrible things, but they were doing horrible things to people thousands of miles away, and it wasn't necessarily our problem. These people in Venezuela and Colombia, in these other countries, are directly harming and killing Americans. They're indirectly killing Americans, but it doesn't really matter to me. If I just see overdosed dead druggies on the street, I'm thinking in my mind, well, thanks, Venezuela. And so again, it directly impacts us. It's directly meaningful to us. Also, it's about our relationship to these people, to these countries. These countries think that they can abuse the hell out of our citizens, our economy, our people. They are leeches on us. They are leeches, and not just leeches, but venomous leeches that are trying to kill us as they are stealing money from us through various means. So I hate it. And regime change in Venezuela and Colombia, I think, does not pan out in the same way as Iraq at all. I think that there's a lot of people just ready and more competent and willing to overturn the circumstances in a country like Venezuela than in Iraq. I think they just need a push. They need a firm kick in the door, and then you have a lot of people ready to have a positive, cooperative, symbiotic relationship with America and Venezuela. Like that's my opinion. And again, closer in proximity, killing our citizens, harming our country, harming our souls. So very different from Iraq.
Yeah, I get that. You know, it's one of those things where I understand the concern, but you explained it perfectly. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
we shall see. The cartel's days are numbered. Yeah, they're get shredded. I don't see how they're gonna be able to win that, like, at all. I don't see how the cartel could be the U.S. I just honestly, I don't think it's possible, but we'll see. All right, where are we at? Yeah, so overall, guys, I think with everything going on, I don't know. Did we miss anything? I don't think we did. Let's see. American Earth for 3. Instead of invading Venezuela, can we fund a coup? Well, that's a rumor. Apparently, we are going to support rebels in Venezuela.
Well, yeah. When I was talking about this in private with Luke, because he had all these objections that you're talking about, the one thing I said to him was that I think that this is going to be the way that we took over Ukraine instead of the way that we took over, like we operated in Iraq. As you guys know, you guys don't even think about the time we took over Ukraine because it was just that much of a covert operation. The feds went in, they flipped the state. We were able to change the leadership, and nobody knew or really cared. And
Hey,
so,
Chad,
like,
is YouTube working? Is YouTube working properly? Chat, type W if you can hear me properly, if things are working. Because, like, I don't know what's going on. YouTube, like, glitching or something. What the hell's going on? Am I missing something? Is it? Just suddenly we had a crash in viewership out of nowhere. I'm just trying to make sure everything's working.
It's working.
Okay.
yeah, it's working.
All right, there we go. I don't know. YouTube was acting weird. Like, the viewership thing just suddenly crashed at, like, 0 for a second. That's so... What the hell? Whatever. All right, it's working.
But yeah, I mean, and I just want to like mention there is already an established relationship between the Secretary of State, the State Department, and the people who would take over Venezuela if we clobbered them overnight or over a week or two. Like everything's already set up. It's not like there's no infrastructure. It's not like we're trying to build a state from scratch. The people that want to have a positive relationship with the United States, they're all ready. They're ready to take over their own country. They just don't have the means to do so. And so if we were to supply the means for them, I actually think it'll turn out a lot better. Than it will be closer in people's minds to the regime change in Ukraine as opposed to the regime change we attempted in Iraq. That's my genuine thoughts on the issue.
Yeah. Let's see. Now it's back up. Okay. I don't know. YouTube was acting weird for a second, but we're back. We're back. Okay, good. All right. I don't think we missed anything then. We talked about that. We talked about that. Chat, if you have any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, whatever, send them now. Last calls were super chats. And oh, by the way, guys, no update on the America First Insight thing yet, but we'll hopefully have an update about that next week about like what we're gonna do. We'll see. I think that's it. Kind of a shorter stream because kind of a slower day. You know, we kind of went over everything, so yeah.
Oh, there was a Quinnipiac poll yesterday. We should talk about that.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Tell me what did the blind squirrel say?
Now, the main thing with the Quinnipiac poll I want to bring up is John Fetterman's approval.
Oh, I saw that actually.
Yes,
it's on crack.
Yes, John Fetterman has a higher approval rating among Republicans than Democrats. He's like plus, I believe it's plus 41 with Republicans and minus 21 with Democrats.
If that's true, which I have some doubts about, he's not winning the primary.
And tied with independents. So, and that's also a major increase from January of last year. Now, look, I will say this. I don't think Fetterman's going to run for re-election, regardless.
You don't
I
think so?
do think, though, he will switch to an independent. I think he will switch parties to independent. Not to Republican, but to independent.
I actually agree with that. We'll see.
He will probably continue to caucus with Democrats, but I don't think he's going to... But he's not going to be a registered one.
Yeah, it was like this whole thing. We understood Fetterman couldn't switch parties because he had problems with Republican leadership in Congress.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, independent is probably his only path forward. He doesn't have a path forward in the Democrat Party, and he's not willing to switch over to the Republican Party. So, yeah, maybe he runs as an
It would be
eye.
in the it would be in the same style as Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema.
Yeah, totally.
And maybe Joe Lieberman, I guess. I don't know.
Totally
A lot
independent.
of people are comparing him to Arlen Specter, which is kind of funny. I mean, I can see that, but
Well, both from Pennsylvania.
And Fetterman's in Arlen Specter's seat.
Okay.
Because I think it was Specter, then Toomey, then Fetterman.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken, was that the case? Yes, it was Specter till from 1981 to 2011, Pat Toomey from 2011 to 2023, and then John Fetterman from 2023 onwards.
All right. So if anyone got more super chats, last calls for everybody, last calls for super chats. We went over everything. I think. I don't think we missed anything. I don't think so. So yeah, should be interesting. Should be interesting everything going on. Yeah, Fetterman doesn't switch, I agree. I just don't like. The only way he does, he has to have some kind of like Jeff Van Drew type of conversion, which even Van Drew was basically a conservative when he switched anyways.
Yeah,
So,
he was already. I think he had already voted. Like, I think Van Drew voted against the first Trump impeachment.
he was
and
already a
switched
majority.
over.
He was voting majority of the time with Republicans. So,
Yeah.
One last thought about this. I would not be shocked at all if Fetterman just decided to retire.
yeah, I think he will.
And the reason I say that is because you look at like these interviews that he does over and over again, he looks just exhausted. I think he hates his job. I don't think he actually likes being there.
Could he theoretically even resign by
Maybe.
next year?
Maybe.
Which, if he does, that opens up a special election.
Yeah.
And oh boy, that would be
A mess.
an interesting one. Because that actually would also mean that there would be a Senate election every 2 years in Pennsylvania since I think 2022.
That would suck.
I actually think, like, as a career move, resigning might actually be a positive career move for Fetterman, since he's caught between a rock and a hard place in regards to being reelected. But if he quits because he hates his job, then it's possible that he like maintains his political capital and then gets to do, I don't know, work with nonprofits or work with other political actors for specific movements. Like, he probably has a career future if he can wiggle his way out of like the shit show that the Democrats are going to put him through.
All right.
Maybe we see like a Fetterman Yang ticket with a forward party.
Gosh,
Maybe
that's a meme.
But yeah, I think honestly, I mean, Democrats will probably nominate Connor Lamb for Senate, if not in 2026 in a special election, then 2028. I don't think Fetterman's going to run for re-election, even as an independent. I think if he doesn't resign next year, then look to him not switching parties entirely, but switching independent and retiring, just like Manchin and Sinema. and then we probably get Stacey Garrity versus Conor Lamb in 2028. Or for 2026, I think maybe we can see the return of former Congressman Fred Keller.
All right.
Because there's not really anybody else who could run. Like Fitzpatrick,
he's
got to defend his. Yeah, Fitzpatrick's. He's run Fitzpatrick for Senate. Like, he'd be a strong candidate, but then you got to defend his seat.
Yeah.
And McKenzie, he has to defend his seat. Bresnahan, he has to defend his seat. He's also very corrupt. So.
All right.
I think that's it.
I think that's everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with a stream. If you guys did enjoy today, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel. Again, updates on the America First Insight partnership, which I'm working with him on right now. So, updates on that soon. So.